gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Steven Adventurefall. Welcome to my top 10 TV shows of all time. Now, in this video I'm about to make, I am going to talk a little bit about the show that I put at that number and explain why or why not they are higher or lower on the list. Now, without wasting any more of your guys' time, I'm just going to jump straight into this video. Samurai Jack was one of the best shows in the early 2000s. Now, unfortunately, I was too young to watch this show when it aired because it came out in 2004, and that was before I was born. Sadness. But in the early 2000s, they did, to my knowledge, 4 seasons of this show, and then it got canceled. And then, I don't know, 13 years later, they came out with a season 5 that actually had a story and was actually pretty good. Now, if you've been living under a rock for the past 20 years, this show is about a samurai who got sent back to the past, who was trying to kill his mortal enemy, and is stuck there for 50 years. This show had some great characters in it as well, especially with good voice actors, like the Scotsman, voiced by John DiMaggio, probably my favorite voice actor of all time. He's in another show that's on this list we'll get to later. Up next at number 9, we have one of the best animated shows of 2021, and that would be... Y'all should remember this man. This man was in my Adventure Time Distant Lands review, and his. I actually linked his channel in the last video I made. You're welcome. Thank you. And we're here to do a few of the shows, and we're recording this after number 8, so I do number 8 on my own. 7. And after number 7, a little bit of number 7. So, just a heads up, by the way. Now, we don't just like this show because of the obvious meme.
You're fighting so you can watch everyone around you die! Think, Mark!
Action, great.
Voice acting, stellar. J.K. Simmons, fantastic job. And everyone else, I don't know your names, I'm sorry.
I can't believe you've done this.
But everything's great. Action, gore, immaculate, incredible. We're whipping out the dictionary here. Yes, we're whipping out the thesaurus.
Dude, that's some big boy words.
Then on to number 8. Star Wars: The Clone Wars. What a classic. An absolute classic. I grew up with this show, and so did a lot of my friends today. And I'd be willing to bet a lot of Star Wars fans probably grew up with this show as well. Now, I am primarily talking about the last season of this show, the 7th season. Because the 7th season was just very, very incredible. It was just remarkably good. Now, that first arc with the Bad Batch, that is one of, if not the best arc in the entire show, period. And it sparked an entirely new spin-off series titled Star Wars: The Bad Batch. Pretty simple. But that first Ahsoka arc, the one with the 2 sisters, made me want to play Russian roulette with a full magazine, okay? I'd be willing to bet not a lot of people liked that second Ahsoka arc. But other than that first Ahsoka arc, the whole last season was just incredible. It came out a year ago, and I could still rewatch it over and over again.
Gee, it's swell.
To this day, it's just so good. Number 7. Aw yeah, One Punch Man. One of the most popular shows of the last probably 6 years now. Yet there are only 2 seasons. I don't know why. I don't know why, but just hearing the music and the theme songs to this show just make me happy inside. Just makes me feel good. Now, One Punch Man, in my opinion, is probably, if not the funniest show I have ever watched. It is absolutely hysterical.
That's a really bold statement. I didn't think it was the funniest.
I think it's definitely up there.
I think it's probably the funniest character.
Yeah, and probably the coolest character.
Yeah. Well, what makes him so funny is the fact of how cool he is, not how uncool that he is.
How humble he is about everything. How emotionless.
Any kind of species.
He does not care about anything. It's so hilarious.
His blank derpy face.
Yeah. Number 6! Regular Show is probably one of the only shows that can rival One Punch Man as the funniest cartoon out there.
Fun, not so fun fact. I haven't completely completed this show yet.
Yeah, he's not even halfway through.
I'm in the midst.
He's in the 3rd season. I completed this show probably a month or so ago.
And how long did that take you?
It dragged. This show really drags on, but it is really funny and really good.
Yeah, because not much of the episodes I've heard drive to the... I'm not going to stop talking now. I'm just going to get out.
Rapid fire. Character review. Mordecai. Good character.
Undo, don't.
It's already in motion.
Well, put it out of motion!
You pissed me off.
Rigby, for the majority of the show, I did not like him. I don't know why. I just didn't like Rigby.
Stop talking!
I just didn't like Rigby. Do you have a say in anything?
I don't know what to say. Rigby is indeed annoying.
I'm not a huge fan of Rigby. Skips is my favorite character.
Pops is my favorite character.
I don't know. Pops is kind of weird.
Yeah, Pops is really good
I
character.
think he's absolutely adorable.
I love Pops. Pops is really funny. I like him. And then Benson's alright. He's alright.
I actually really like him.
Yeah, I like Benson. Yeah, it's a typical boss.
You really fall in love with him.
Better spit on those fingers. These old hedges aren't getting any younger.
As you can see, I'm wearing different clothing. As you can see him, as he's tonguing this lovely ice cream cone, that we went and got some ice cream. So I had to get dressed. So I'm just giving you a heads up. First things first, I have not seen this show in a very long time. So my memories from this are gonna be very fuzzy. But good thing we're only talking about it for like a minute.
Yeah, I watched the show a ton as a kid. This was like the first TV show I've ever watched.
It's the first it's the show that got me into animated television. I'll just say.
You're welcome.
Character Quickie, Aang. He's cool. I like him.
Now, check this out.
I like Aang a lot. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, he's bald. He's
I mean, if you've ever watched
talented.
this show, and if you haven't, like, what is wrong with you? Where have you been the last 20 years?
Like I said, this is probably one of the more popular shows ever.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably the most popular. I don't want to call it an anime because it's American, but like American anime. Let's just call it that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. While we're touching on this, I'd say its animation is actually really underrated because it's your typical animation, you know, but there's kind of like a nice little spin on it with
Yeah.
A bunch of, like, over-animated.
Yeah. Definitely agree. Definitely agree. Sokka, I don't know why, but he was always my favorite character.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't count you. You know, no bending and all. I can still fight! Okay, 3 on 3 plus Sokka.
I don't know why. He's pretty cool.
I do like him. He actually did become really cool towards the end when he got his sword and he was jumping from all the roofs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Katara, I mean,
I don't want to say the worst, the third best of the 3 main characters.
yeah,
She's
definitely.
not the greatest character.
Yeah,
She's a
definitely.
little,
overused in my opinion.
thoughty.
Okay, yeah. Boomy, my favorite character.
You can't keep us here. Let us leave.
Let us leave?
What about Iroh?
How could I forget?
Did I ever tell you how I got the nickname, the Dragon of the West?
I'm not interested in a lengthy anecdote, Uncle.
It's more of a demonstration, really.
Too many good characters.
Too many good characters.
Especially the old men.
Yeah,
Lots
especially
of good old men characters.
You just gotta love a nice old man every now and then.
Okay, how could we forget the movie? Top tier American cinema. Like, filmmaking at its finest.
Obviously.
Like, you want to take a look at these special effects?
Just take a look at
a
the special effects in this scene. And we mustn't forget the top tier, S++ tier acting that you can only find in American cinema across the world.
All airbenders should be dead. Kill him!
Number 4.
Trembly away!
Gravity Falls, good old Gravity Falls. An absolute banger of a television series. One of the most popular, easily a top 3 show of the 2010s. But that's objectively. I will punch you. But I'm just saying, like, as objectively, I'd probably say it's the top 3 show of the 2010s. But not for me, personally, not for me.
Well, now you're making it sound like a bad show when you say that.
Just let the
like
review do the talking. As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by this. I'm not gonna say that. But you know what I was trying.
Why you bullying
But
me?
anyway, character quickie. First character, Dipper, main character for the most part.
Dipper. The strength of this show is the characters.
Yeah,
There is not a single bad character in this show.
there's not a single bad character that is consistently in this show. Like Stan is incredible. Grunkle Stan. Yeah, he's incredible.
To dark, you say? I don't know. We'd have to break in and... Just kidding, let's break in!
Love Grunkle Stan, and everyone loves Grunkle Stan. Like, no one doesn't love Grunkle Stan.
What did you say?
It's just, there are no bad characters in this show. All the way from Dipper to Blendin Blandin, the Justin Roiland. There's no bad characters in this show. Numero Trace. Ah yes, The Promised Neverland.
Such a quaint, calming show.
Such a nice little story about a bunch of orphans running around.
Growing up on a nice little house.
Nice
with
little
a caring
farm.
mother. It's so sweet.
So sweet, so nice.
Psych!
This is actually a show about children being farmed since they were born. and to be raised, to be eaten by monsters. And these monsters, they don't mess around. They keep it dead straight. If there's any sort of anything going on anywhere ever that's not up to their liking, you are dead. There's no way. As usual, we have to do our character quickie.
Wait, real quick. I have not seen the second season.
Oh yeah, that's something else. He has not seen the second season. We're going to watch it this weekend.
I have been told that it is quite bad.
It's not nearly as good as the first season. I'll just say that. Because the first season is just 10 out of 10 absolute masterpiece. Like, there is very little I can say bad about the first season.
Because I don't see the show, like, going up anymore on your list than it has.
Yeah, but, I don't see it going up. Like, my 1 and 2 are not going to be changing anytime soon. Unless I watch a show and it completely changes my life.
Literally just makes you feel all the feels at once.
Yeah.
Every second of watching that show. Okay.
Actual character quickie now. We're not gonna get sidetracked. Emma, what do you think from the first season?
I don't know, she's a girl, right? I'm assuming she's a main girl character.
To be honest, I think Norman is more of a main character than Emma. Because you see, the thing is, Norman does all of their planning. He does basically everything in the show, and Emma and Ray just carry it out.
Yeah, he's the smartest muff I've seen.
He's the genius of the group. Mother, what do you think?
その歌どこで？
ねえママ、どうして俺を産んだの？
I liked how she was just like she was one of the kids.
Mom.
Yeah, mom.
That's what I was thinking about. Like, what if it's like a sophisticated thing? Why is it mother? I don't know. Just like a thought I had. Why is it just mom? Whatever. Doesn't matter. But what were you saying?
Character quickie. I do like how mom was like an actual kid who was raised in one of these orphanages and grew up to actually find the atrocities and stuff that happened, and then just realized that there was nothing you could do, and just accepted it.
Yeah.
And just did everything she could to stay alive.
There aren't really any. There are not that many characters. There's like, in the first season, what I saw, there's only like 4 or 5 characters.
There's about 6 main more grown-up characters.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is sort of just like a side character that sort of helps out in a small way.
Yeah.
And then there were 2.
Your time, come on, grab your friends. We'll go to very distant lands. We'll take the dog and then the human. The fun will never end. It's adventure time.
Adventure time. Remember earlier in the video, I said that John DiMaggio was in another show? This is it. Jake the dog, man. Jake the dog.
I wish I wasn't so hungry.
Thoughts? Thoughts on the show?
It's by far the greatest show ever created. The epitome of animation. Cartoon Network's finest piece.
Arguable. In my opinion.
It is not.
You see, in my opinion,
I am talking.
Am I
a mute?
I am letting you talk.
Okay, thank you.
Speak.
I just really love this show, man. I really love this show.
My number 1 and number 2 are so incredibly close. They're so close. They're so close, in fact, I don't think that there is a difference between the two. In my opinion.
It's like one of those situations where you're like, they can go 1 or 2. Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm gonna put a little basketball reference in this, like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Like, wherever they are in your ranking, you just say that they're like either 4 or 5, 5 or 4. You can switch them there and there. I think this is another one of those situations.
If you've been listening at all, or if you have watched some of my past videos, you already know what my number 1 is. I'm just gonna say that right now. You already know what my number 1 is.
One particular thing I really like about this show is how many branches of plot there are. There's so many stories you can follow throughout the show. It doesn't really follow it follows one basic like timeline, but within that there many different topics come up, and it branches out into multiple different like plots, and I think it's cool that you have more than like one kind of plot to follow.
There are many side plots and so much lore, and it leaves an incentive to re-watch the show, because the more and more you re-watch the show, every time you re-watch it, you pick up something new.
Yeah.
You pick up something you didn't pick up in your last. The amount of good things we could say about this show are endless. Like, this show is just incredible, and if you haven't watched it, I cannot recommend it to you enough. Okay?
Yeah.
Voice acting, incredible. Everything about it. Characters.
Oh yeah, one thing you said you liked about it. Another thing I liked is Jeremy Shada's voice changing.
Yeah.
In it.
Because the show spans over about what? 10 years? How many years?
The show itself, yes, 10 years. No,
Yeah.
not 10 years, 5 years. What am I saying?
Yeah, so about 5 years.
Because Finn starts off as 12. And
Finn
then
starts
he's
off as a
17.
12-year-old kid, and then he ends up as a 17-year-old kid who's taller. And every season the show goes by, you can hear Jeremy Shada, you can hear Finn's voice get deeper and deeper over time, and I just think that's a really nice touch.
Yeah, and you can like feel him becoming more mature.
Yeah, he's not just that kid, he's not just that violence and action-seeking kid that everyone loved.
Yeah, he has
in the
problems
first
with
season.
like his love life and like his parents, his species.
Yeah, it's just an endless amount of great things we can say about this show.
One more thing.
Nope.
Now for the honorable mentions. Now, I have a few honorable mentions. I'm not going to spend too much time on them. Before I get to number 1, I wonder what it is. I honestly have no idea.
Yeah.
But for my honorable mentions, I'm just going to quick fire them and say a little bit about them, not too much. Okay, Ragnarok. This is a show my last video I did a review on this show. Very deeply rooted in Norse mythology. It's a modern day take on the Norse gods versus the giants. Very good show.
Nearly made your top 10.
Nearly, very, very nearly made my top 10. Legend of Korra, of course. The Avatar spin-off, the Avatar epilogue, I guess you could say.
For a show that you'd think would probably not be so great.
Yeah, it's actually not bad. Legend of Korra, very good, very underrated, in my opinion. Titans is a live-action version of the Teen Titans series that was on Cartoon Network back in the very, very early 2000s. Very live-action, very good. Recommended. The DC fans. The Boys, of course, you've heard of The Boys. It's an adult superhero show. How could you resist? It's a very adult superhero show, very gory, a lot of real problems, real issues. Instead of these superheroes using their powers for good, they use them for fame and glory and all that. Then, last, of course, I have to mention it, Rick and Morty. If you haven't heard of Rick and Morty, you're like, what are you doing? It's like the most popular show of the 2010s, and it's not even close. Like, not even close in the slightest. Rick and Morty, basically a parody of Back to the Future with Doc and Marty. You know, portals and all that. Yeah, you know. And on to... Now, first things first with Steven Universe. I am counting Steven Universe, the movie and Future, as a part of Steven Universe. Because if the movie or Future didn't exist, this probably would barely even be in my top 5, to be honest. I just love the movie and Future so much that it just elevates the show to another level for me.
Because personally, the movie is my favorite part of the entire show.
I couldn't agree more. Spinell elevates the movie to another level. Steven Universe, the first show, like the original, just Steven Universe, it was all right. I wouldn't call it amazing. I'd call it very much enjoyable, because it's a kids show. Obviously, it's not like you're getting some sort of really deep, thick plot, you know. But
and the ending could have definitely been better.
You see, the thing with Steven Universe, just the regular Steven Universe, is the ending felt rushed because it was. The show was canceled in the 22nd episode? The 22nd episode of the 5th season, to my knowledge. And then they put out a petition to make another 6 episodes to completely wrap up the show. And they only had 6 episodes to do so. Personally, I think they did a great job for what budget and how much time they had. Like, if they didn't get canceled, if it kept going for long enough, then I'm sure they could have wrapped it up in a very neat bow. As you can see, I am again in a different outfit. He's not. It's just...
I slept in this.
Yeah, he slept in that.
Disgusting!
But we're here again to record some more because the audio got corrupted on this 10-minute clip we had. So...
We're talking about the musical numbers?
Yes,
we're
going to talk about the musical numbers. Now, the musical numbers in the show is the best part about this show by far. Easily. Because it just elevates the movie, because some of the songs in Steven Universe are some of my favorite songs of all time. Do you have anything to say?
No, just agreement. The songs are incredible.
I've been trying to do a top 10 Steven Universe songs, but every time I do it, the video keeps getting copyright struck, and then I have to keep changing the list, and then it's not genuine, you know? But that's something for another time. Well, that's gonna do it here today, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. It's been a long one. It's been a long time coming, about 40 or so minutes. Probably less by the time we fully get done uploading this. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. You know, if you liked it, press the like button. If you didn't, press dislike right now. I can't control you. This is America. I'll see you later. Peace.
Peace.
Make a change.
All airbenders should be dead. Kill him!